There I am. All right. Everyone, please give it up for Lavender Menace. Woo! Okay, fabulous people, distinguished faculty, honored guests, and most importantly, the resilient and remarkable class of 2024. Woo! My name is Elizabeth Cronk-Warner. My pronouns are she and hers, and I have the honor of being acting dean for the School of Cultural and Social Transformation. On behalf of the students, faculty, and staff, welcome to our Convocation. Now, anytime we gather together as a group, I do like to start with the university's tribal land acknowledgement statement. We acknowledge that this land, which is named for the Ute tribe, is the traditional and ancestral homeland of the Shoshone, Paiute, Goshu, and Ute tribes. The University of Utah recognizes and respects the enduring relationship that exists between many indigenous peoples and their traditional homelands. We respect the sovereign relationship between tribes, states, and the federal government, and we affirm the University of Utah's commitment to a partnership with Native nations and urban Indian communities through research, education, and community outreach activities. The Great Salt Lake Valley used to be a place for tribal nations to come together and gather, and so it seems very appropriate that we're still gathering here today in celebration. And we are so very pleased to be joined on stage today by University of Utah Board of Trustee member Bassam Salem. I have dubbed him our trustee. And our cabinet member, Kathy Anderson, the university's chief financial officer and vice president of administrative services. And our esteemed speaker, and may I say our mayor, Mayor Aaron Mendenhall. I would also like to note that the others on the stage constitute what is simply an incredible faculty. Members of the faculty, will you please stand and be recognized? Please be seated, thank you. I would also like to present what our students know is the secret ingredient of the School for Cultural and Social Transformation, and that is our staff. The magic that happens during the school year is simply not possible without our fantastic staff and the professionals in our community who dedicate their time to teach for us. And so I ask these individuals in the audience, please stand, we want to recognize you. We're thrilled. We're just thrilled that you're here. Who are we that are thrilled? And what is the School for Cultural and Social Transformation? Well, as our beloved Emeritus Dean Catherine Bond Stockton liked to say, if you take the coolest dance troupe, wed it to a protest, link it to a book club that reads the hippest books, and make it sing with fire and joy, a joy that breaks barriers, confronts institutions, soothes wounds, cracks jokes, dresses rad, and calls things what they are, you have transform. Yes, y'all are amazing. And as dean of this esteemed institution, it is my profound honor to stand before you today on this momentous occasion, the culmination of years of hard work, dedication, and unwavering perseverance. Graduates, your journey to this point has been nothing short of extraordinary, filled with challenges, triumphs, and countless moments of growth. I also want to acknowledge for many of you who may have missed your high school graduation, this may be your first graduation, so we need to celebrate. Now, when I was in college, my dad gave me a very small piece of art that had a quote on it. And the quote was from Marianne Rademacher Hershey. And it said, because no graduation speech would be good without a quote, "It is not the easy or convenient life for which I serve, but rather the life lived to the edge of all my possibility." My dad hoped to inspire me, and it is a quote I have often pondered since he gifted it to me. As I started to think about this speech and what I could possibly say to you, I found myself returning to this quote. You have not chosen an easy or convenient life. You have worked hard and struggled to overcome obstacles. I'm sure there have been moments when you wanted to give up, when it all seemed overwhelming, but you kept moving forward. And today we're here to celebrate those amazing accomplishments. Pride does not adequately capture our feelings for you. You are inspirational, and we will never forget the class of 2024. You have truly lived to the edge of all your possibilities. Today, we celebrate not only your academic achievements, but also your profound commitment to understanding the complexities of our world and advocating for inclusivity, equity, and social justice. In a time when these principles are more crucial than ever, your dedication to the disciplines of gender studies, ethnic studies, disability studies, and Pacific Island studies is not just commendable, it's indispensable. Yeah. In your studies, you have delved deep into the intersections of identity, power, and privilege, challenging conventional narratives and amplifying voices that have long been marginalized and silenced. You have shown immense courage in confronting systemic injustices and striving towards a more equitable and inclusive society for all. There are so many great examples of what you accomplished. Sochi Juarez, at our graduation earlier this week on Monday, yes, you were inspirational in your discussion about your journey from the young girl who took it upon herself to lead to the amazing woman you are today in leading. Mary Linda Gonzalez gave an amazing presentation with Professor Munoz entitled Peoples of Utah Revisited, an Oral History as Collaborative Community Research, which they presented in San Francisco, California. Ethnic Studies student Emma Taylor was recently honored with the Exceptional Community Engagement Award through the Benyon Center, with the support of her faculty mentor, Elizabeth Archuleta, who we might have a little something to say about later, and community partner Martha Hernandez from the Center for Equity and Student Belonging. Emma did a capstone research project to assess support services and resources for survivors of gender-based violence on campus, specifically for survivors of marginalized identities. Sydney Kincart, a disability studies and political science student, has made it a point to work on projects at the intersection of her disciplines. In addition to the great work she did through Gender on the Hill, a legislative advocacy course taught through the school by our own professor, she has reshaped the Disability Law Center's community lobbying and advocacy training program, and while there, she created resources to strengthen advocacy training and engagement. Our student speaker, Leslie Rodriguez's poster, Uncovering the Red Facepalm, a decolonial lens on murdered, missing, and Indigenous women, was selected as one of the 2 best humanities and fine arts Spring Symposium poster prizes of all of the university at the Undergraduate Research Symposium. Danny Romero had an internship with Alliance Community Services, affiliated Utah's LGBTQ+ Chamber of Commerce. He explained that, quote, "My internship is helping me understand how to use the resources available to me to benefit the communities I belong to as a trans-masculine immigrant from Mexico. I'm learning how to better talk about my lived experience in collaboration with community so others are able to expand their opportunities for liberation and imagination." Yes. Brady Allen completed an internship with SLCSE, where Brady helped to work with LGBTQ teens to help them with figuring themselves out and to teach them their queer history. Further, we can look at aggregate statistics to just see how incredibly impactful the class of 2024 has been. Students led 70 small group dialogues with an average of 5 people per group, so about 350 people were engaged. And each dialogue was designed, facilitated, and evaluated by students. Topics ranged from consent to the A in LGBTQIA, health and LGBTQIA, masculinity and emotions, and Latinx. During the Gender on the Hill course, students spent an average of 21 hours at the Capitol during the legislative session. Students directly engaged 20 legislators, and they also engaged 10 community organizations. Talk about unsurpassed societal impact. Sadie Werner serves as a leader of the Black Cultural Center. Alissi Fakahi serves as leader of the Pacific Island Student Association on campus. And Jaylee Aston was co-president for the Students for United for Reproductive Freedom. Wow, I'm tired just thinking of all your accomplishments. Amazing. And this list does not come close to capturing all the amazing work our graduates have accomplished. But it gives you a sense of just how amazing you are. You, the class of 2024, have educated yourselves, and as Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Your impact, and your impact extends far beyond the walls of our institution. Through community engagement, activism, and advocacy, you have brought about tangible change in our local communities and beyond. You have challenged the status quo, sparked important conversations, and inspired others to join in your fight for justice and equality. In our diverse tapestry of our nation, the significance of these areas of study reverberates profoundly, both within the borders of Utah and across the United States. In a world where understanding and embracing diversity is increasingly imperative, the insights you gained from your time at Transform are essential for fostering inclusivity, empathy, and mutual respect. In Utah, a state with a rich cultural mosaic and a growing population of diverse backgrounds, these disciplines provide the tools necessary to navigate the complexities of our society with grace and understanding. Furthermore, in the broader context of the United States, where the fabric of our nation is woven from the threads of countless cultures, identities, and experiences, these fields foster a sense of belonging and empowerment for all. By embracing the teachings of these disciplines, we not only honor the diversity that defines us, but also pave the way for a more equitable, just, and compassionate society for generations to come. As Maya Angelou explained, in diversity, there is a beauty and there is a strength. As you embark on your next chapter of your journey, I urge you to carry forth the lessons you have learned here with courage, compassion, and conviction. Remember that your education does not end with today's ceremony. It is a lifelong journey of learning, unlearning, and growth. Never lose sight of the profound impact that each and every one of you can have on the world. As you step into the future, know that you carry with you the hopes and aspirations of countless individuals who came before you, as well as those who will follow in your footsteps. You are the architects of change, the champions of progress, the leaders of tomorrow. Congratulations, Transform graduates. May your journey ahead be filled with purpose, passion, and endless possibilities. And may you continue to inspire us with all of your courage, your compassion, and your unwavering commitment to building a better world for generations to come. Che Miigwech, thank you very much. It is my privilege to now introduce our student speaker, who is Leslie Rodriguez. Who is a candidate for the degree of Honors BA in Ethnic Study and also Honors BA in Criminology. Leslie Rodriguez is an Indigenous student. She is an Indigenous Women's Collective member, and she is the ITSA president. Starting in fall of 2024, she will be a master's student. Very exciting. In educational leadership and policy with an emphasis in student affairs. Leslie.
Alrighty. Shoot, my cap almost went out. Sorry. Deote and hello everyone. It is beyond an honor and a pleasure to be with all of you all today. My name is Leslie Rodriguez. I am Nade and Latina. My clans are Nialbachin and Tueradin. I am pleased to be this year's Transform Convocation student speaker. I would like to start by thanking Dr. Dean Conferring for our wonderful introduction. I would also like to recognize all the outstanding students of the School for Cultural and Social Transformation. I am very proud of how far we've gotten, and I am excited to see who we will become in the next step of our lives. I would also like to thank the American Indian Resource Center, all my relations, the Center for Equity and Student Belonging, the Board of Trustees, and along with the Dean, faculty, and staff of Transform. From the bottom of my heart, my message to the class of 2024, we did it. We are here. We made it. After so many long, tiresome days of writing papers, contributing to our campus community, and countless of hours of working on our research that will benefit our communities, after coming to class half asleep and writing with an energy drink in our hands, we finally made it to the finish line. I love you all, and I am so happy to see you all here with me. From the bottom of my heart, my message to the class of 2024, we did it. We are here, and we made it. After many long, tiresome days of sorry, I totally repeated what I just said, but it's all good. I would also like to take a moment to look around those in the auditorium at the beautiful people who helped you here on your journey. Your family, friends, everyone in your communities, and all the people who pushed you to pour their love onto you and believed in you, even though you didn't believe in yourself. Eshna. I would also like to share a philosophy from my people, the Nade. Ever since I was a little girl, I was taught by my elders the concept of the Gojo, which is the happiness and fulfillment that is derived from the harmony and balance among oneself, your community, and those you're around. The critical knowledge attained through this disciplines and Transform offered us the gifts to help us gain harmony, to work with others, and contribute to our communities. Using these gifts you will gain from your college journey, you will help find the balance you need to be one with yourself, your community, and those you love and care about. This philosophy has given me the strength to push myself to be the very best and continue my education, as it will someday impact the lives of others through example alone. I hope that those little brown boys and girls can look up to students like ourselves and decide to pursue higher education to not only improve their lives, but those around them and their communities. This is how we attain the Gojo in our lives. This harmony to educate oneself and absorb all the knowledge to uplift others after we walk into our own paths. This brings us happiness to not only ourselves, but to others. Growing up on the west side of Salt Lake City, I was faced with many barriers to attend college. I went to Title I schools all throughout my 12 years in public education. This means that many of the students I went to school with were from low-income families. The high school student body, for example, at my high school, which was in Granger High in West Valley City, consisted of 64% of students who were in poverty. I witnessed many of my fellow peers and their families struggle financially in my community. Despite the systematic poverty, people of color folks in my community, the way they lived their lives despite their hardships, many came to my community to build a better life for themselves and their families. My father taught me that obtaining a higher education is a key to success in life. It is a key to ending the cycle and creating a new beginning for yourself, your family, and the community that helped you get to where you are, a new graduate of the University of Utah. I am very grateful to have learned and interacted with students and faculty from all walks of life. Many of my friends came from all sorts of unique backgrounds and cultures from all over the globe. This motivated me to learn a discipline, ethnic studies, which I could use to study societal racial issues, while acknowledging the strengths that I bring with my own culture and the impact of people of color make in the United States. I chose Transform to develop the tools to make an impact in my community. Yep. Sorry, sorry. Okay, I can use my knowledge I gained to help other people of color to achieve their dreams while bringing positive change for their communities. In my ethnic studies capstone class I took with my fellow peers, I saw my peers work on projects that did just this. Some of my peers chose to touch on first-generation population at the University of Utah, the kinds of barriers that first-generation students have faced, and the kinds of spaces they create to succeed in a system not built for them. Others chose to focus on systematic issues. Affecting their communities directly, such as being a student parent or the school to prison pipeline in public schools. My capstone focused on the epidemic of MIWI, also known as murdered, missing, and Native American women in the state of Utah. As a person who was directly impacted by the heinous crimes that fall under this epidemic, I chose to focus my capstone research on the subject to not only spread awareness on the subject matter, but I hope that others that have been impacted as well can know their experiences are valid and heard. I hope that the work I can do can be used to bring about greater change, and I can be used to bring in more resources to address MIWI in the state of Utah. I know that one day we can eliminate the epidemic from taking away the life of another Indigenous woman or girl. As we graduates know, a degree in ethnic studies, gender studies, disability studies, or Pacific Islander studies can be transformative in many ways. It transforms the way we personally perceive the world and our perspectives. It can challenge people's perspectives and equip us with critical skills to navigate a diverse world. Ultimately, the impact of Transform depends on how we engage and apply it to our personal and professional lives. Fellow graduates, it is time to take what we have learned in our Transform classes and to change our communities, to use our voices in places where decisions are being made, and to promote the uplifting of our communities through the knowledge we have obtained in Transform. Let us fight for each other, take care of one another in the state of Utah and beyond. Thank you. Eshna.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to our specially invited guests, our parents, families, friends, faculty, and staff. Most importantly, good afternoon to our graduates. To say that we have had a complicated academic year is an understatement. It has been a year marked by many complexities and challenges resonating across various levels of our society, as a world, a nation, a state, a university, a school, a community, and as individuals, we've been through it. Currently, there are a number of global conflicts and wars being fought simultaneously over the globe, most notably in places like Sudan, Gaza, Haiti, and Ukraine. The political landscape here in the US is fraught too, as this country is currently poised to re-elect a president whose actions will deeply impact our lives and the futures we envision. We are confronted with a choice between either a former president who is currently being tried for criminal wrongdoing, or a sitting president who has not listened sufficiently to the voices of our young people calling for justice on so many fronts. This year has echoed with the constant unanswered calls for justice from our youth, including many of you sitting here today, about to embark on this next chapter of your lives. Young people who come from immigrant families, working poor Black and brown households, those of you who are queer, trans, and gender expansive. These calls for justice hit close to home, as this state too has not listened to many of you, passing some of the most restrictive legislation we have seen, legislation that signal our bodies are not our own. And on this campus, we have seen this year the ways in which some people are allowed the right to speak freely while others are penalized for exercising that same right. And while our transformed community has been doing our best to defend our rights and to constantly fight for justice, our community too has been through its share of turmoil this year. Yet, despite the struggles and the moments of adversity, we have persevered because we are transformed. But what and who is Transform, you might ask? This year, Transform celebrated our 7th anniversary as a school for cultural and social transformation. And as a community whose mission was given to us by the students 7 years ago, we wanted to reflect on what we have built over these last 7 years and what we need to do to grow in ways that serve you, our students, best. We recognize the importance of reflecting, particularly if we are to live up to our name and our mission in this time. As we reflected together, we went back to our founding based in student activism and advocacy, to ask you to reflect on your experience as members of our community. In this process, you shared much with us, including the ways in which Transform has been a place where you were able to find and feel like you belonged to a community. One of you wrote, "I knew when I was in it, it was right." Some of you refer to Transform as a safe space, one of the few spaces on campus that, and I quote, actually cares about and fosters diversity. It was a place, you said, where you fell in love with learning, where you shared, you felt your professors impacted you greatly, where you feel welcomed, supported, and engaged like we were in the mire with you, and that you felt our care and concern for you as individuals. Transform is the place you shared where you, for the first time, started really understanding the world through systems of oppression and how this changed your lives. A place where you discovered your passion for social justice, and one that has pushed you out of your comfort zone to envision a future for yourselves, and where you cultivated a passion to want to give back to your community. Some of you reflected that your curriculum, rooted in activism and advocacy, should be mandatory learning for every student. It is clear from your reflections that Transform has had a profound impact on you as you matriculated through our program, such that your lives have been changed through this journey in ways that have encouraged you to be the transformation you wish to see in your lives, the lives of those in your communities and your families. And your voice and courage has been integral to shaping our identity and our impact. Your reflections speak volumes about the transformative power of our community. And as you venture forth, remember that you carry the spirit of Transform with you. You have the capacity to shape a world that aligns with your values, to challenge injustice, and to inspire others to do the same. Your journey doesn't end here. It is just beginning. You have so much to offer. You are capable of contributing to transforming our world, this country, this state, our communities, our families, and ourselves for the better over and over again. Like the Combahee River Collective of Black lesbian feminists wrote, until we all get free. We are transformed. And in the midst of all that we endured this academic year, we have kept together as a community, supported each other, shown up for each other, and thrived. And so I am confident, and I think I speak for all my colleagues, that despite all the turmoil we have experienced and all that is predicted to come, we can celebrate this milestone today, knowing that the future is bright in your capable hands. I know I speak for all the faculty and staff in our small school when I say, we are so proud of you. We are proud of what you have accomplished and will accomplish in your vision to transform this world, and we look forward to the ways in which you will make it a better place. A huge congratulations to you, a huge congratulations to your family and friends and mentors, because we know that you do not do this work alone. And because we know this, a huge congratulations to us all. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce you to our next speaker, the Mayor of Salt Lake City, Erin Mandahall, and a Gender Studies alumna.
Thank you, Professor Baldwin, and I want to say, well done, Leslie. These hats were not meant to be kept on your heads. They're meant to fly in the air, so the fact that it kept falling off is just predictive of what we're about to do and celebrate. And to Professor Baldwin, to say that the school transformation is a result of listening to the students, saying what you need from this school, and responding with this faculty and the curriculum that you offer, is missing just one thing, which is that the response of the students is telling the community what we need and the leaders that we need for tomorrow, and how you need to be educated, supported in your expansion of us. You make us have hope in tomorrow. And I'm standing here today as a graduate of the Gender Studies program that became that from the Women's Studies program that I began with. 20 years ago, I graduated. We were a tiny class, and I'm so proud to see how the department has not just grown, but been responsive and continues to. It's an honor to be here with you today. The School for Cultural and Social Transformation is truly a beacon on the entire campus of the University of Utah and for our wider community, initiating and guiding critical conversations and questions, legitimately questioning, creating meaningful work, and enacting what it truly means to embed equity and justice in community. Each of you, I know, has gained a valuable lens and a foundation for carrying out your action. You've prepared for action. You've prepared, and you are already uplifting, inspiring, and emboldening identities and voices that have been ignored or silenced. It's, as I said, it's been a few years now, but when I was sitting right where you are and listening to my own convocation as I graduated with my bachelor's degree in gender studies, it took a long time for me to go on to get my master's degree, but I sat right here in this room later in 2019 with a master's in science and technology from the College of Engineering here at the U. I am a Ute through and through. And in graduating today, or in graduating when I did 20 years ago, I knew I wasn't ready to go to graduate school, although many of you will. You should. Keep going. You're great. I wanted to be an activist. I didn't know how yet, but I had been equipped from my education and from the people that I knew here. I went on from being a community activist, and I had a moment of standing outside and realized I wanted to be inside. And I learned how to change to more of an advocacy point and relied on science to affect policy. And your path, I'm so glad that we don't know what it will look like. But I want you to know that I can tell you wholeheartedly that I know that we become learners in perpetuity. And the ability to transform ourselves in order to affect the changes that we have to see is a major part of what this degree has equipped you with. 4 years ago, or maybe more, you committed to deepening your understanding of race, ethnicity, gender, sexuality, ability, social justice, equity. And from today onward, you are undoubtedly our next generation of change makers. I haven't had the honor of meeting you individually or hearing your stories to learn what drives you and feeds your soul. But I do believe that those who study issues such as you have hold a profound care for your fellow human beings. You care about your family and neighbors. You care about strangers in your community, future generations, and people that you will never meet. You still care. And because of your deep care for others, you've devoted your time and energy to exploring complex issues in order to improve our world. But more than just exploring them, you are equipped and capable to hold space for the complexity, even the discord. You're our future business owners, nonprofit directors, congresspeople, city council members, mayors, healthcare providers, social workers, and professors. Many of you have already changed this city and this community, and I ask you to please keep going. You will face more professional and personal challenges in life that will feel incredibly difficult and maybe even unsurmountable. Progress is often slow, and it can be riddled with partial victories. But the path to progress and maintaining your stamina to affect change, to stand in the winds of change, is a struggle that has to hold simultaneously these somewhat contrasting qualities of humility and tenacity, and vision and curious vulnerability. When I came to gender studies, you could probably characterize my disposition in the world with this classic Ani DeFranco line, if you're not angry, then you're just stupid and you don't care. How else can you react when you know something is so unfair? My favorite teacher when I was in gender studies was Gerda Saunders. Gerda was and is an incredible writer, scholar, and teacher. She's an amazing human being. She expected much of us as her students, and she brought to us even more. She taught us with vision and curiosity, vulnerability, humility, and tenacity. She could make me feel nurtured and loved while at the same time telling me that my analysis of Berger was lacking. In her orbit, we all wanted to hold the complexities of our own internal landscapes while letting her intellectual gravity shape and shift our ways of seeing the systems that we wanted so deeply to undo or change. I wanted to be more like her. I wanted to bring my being done with the systems of oppression, even my frustration and anger, my willingness to work hard and possibly fail hard to get the change I wanted to see, and bring those things together in the same space as with my sincere love of people and my belief in vulnerability as an asset. Transform recognizes and embraces complexity and even discord and wields it like a sword for positive change. Our city, our state, and our world will be in better hands because of the change you are commanding for a more equitable, better community where we can be our authentic selves and we can access opportunities. I want to read to you a quick poem by one of my favorite authors, David White, that holds some of this space. It's called Self-Portrait. He says, "It doesn't interest me if there's one God or many gods. I want to know if you belong or you feel abandoned. If you can know despair or see it in others. I want to know if you are prepared to live in the world with its harsh need to change you. If you can look back with firm eyes, saying, 'This is where I stand.' I want to know if you know how to melt into that fierce heat of living, falling toward the center of your longing. I want to know if you are willing to live day by day with the consequence of love and the bitter, unwanted passion of your sure defeat. I have heard in that fierce embrace, even the gods speak of God." I want you to know that you have supporters in Salt Lake City, in our Office of Equity and Inclusion, and beyond. And we'll continue to work with you to acknowledge and address the historic and current disparities that our residents, our neighbors, and our visitors, regardless of what we have to call that work. I have hope for a more equitable and a compassionate future because of you and your deep care for others. Thank you for letting me speak to you today, and congratulations, class of 2024.
Chegwich, Mayor Mendenhall, we're really proud to call you one of our alumna, and you are such an inspiration for all you can do with the education that you receive through the School for Cultural and Social Transformation. So thank you so much. And now, before we announce the graduates, I do want to take a moment to present our school's Transformative Teaching Award. And you heard a little bit about the impact she's had earlier today. I'm honored to recognize Associate Chair of Ethnic Studies, Dr. Elizabeth Archuleta, with the Transformative Teaching Award. Dr. Elizabeth Archuleta has been transformative in her teaching at the U, mentoring students since 2013. Her courses take students on a journey through important issues, including Indigenous speculative fictions, race, gender, and popular culture, American Indian experience, and diversity scholars, just to name a few. Her commitment to teaching excellence is notable with her successful acquisition of grants, such as the University Teaching Grant for Dancing Earth, Moving Toward Wellness, and a Global Learning Across Disciplines grant to transform ethnic studies. Her nominator explained that, quote, "I have known Elizabeth since 2007, when I was a new PhD student at Arizona State University. She taught me inside and outside the classroom about pedagogy, research methodology, professionalism, and generosity. Dr. Archuleta is truly a caring and generous professor. Thank you so much for your commitment to our students and to our school." Dr. Archuleta, will you please come forward and accept your award? Okay, so now I want to call our collective attention to the awards section of your printed program. You will notice that both our students and faculty are doing outstanding work around campus and getting noticed. Please join me in collective congratulations to these awardees. Okay. It's finally the moment you've been waiting for. Will the 2024 graduates please proceed to the stage for the awarding of degree? Now, for those of you who are here to celebrate our graduates, please note that we have left the front row empty. You may use those seats to take pictures of your graduates as they cross the stage. And then please return to your original seat. Please do not stand, as this will block others from viewing the stage. This should allow everyone a great photo opportunity. Okay, graduates, please come forward.
All right, our first graduate is Leslie Rodriguez, who receives an honors of Bachelor's of Arts in Ethnic Studies, an honors Bachelor's of Arts in Criminology, and is a sociology minor. Woo! No, that's you.
Lauren Elizabeth Reeves, a BS Reeves, I'm sorry, BS in Gender Studies, BS in Psychology.
Nicole Oster-Miller, Gender Studies minor, BS in Psychology.
Evan Miller, a BS in Gender Studies and a BS in Psychology.
Kate Elizabeth Lunnan, Bachelor's of Arts in Gender Studies, Bachelor's of Arts in English.
Soledad Martinez Coronado, Ethnic Studies minor, a BSW in Social Work.
Brenna Coleman, Bachelor's of Science and Gender Studies and an English Creative Writing minor.
Brooklyn Rapp, a BS in Gender Studies, a BS in Psychology, and a BS in Health, Society, and Policy.
Kai Galt, Bachelor's of Science and Gender Studies.
Brady Allen, a BS in Gender Studies and a BS in Psychology.
Josephine Burke, Bachelor's of Arts in Gender Studies and Bachelor's of Arts in Communications.
Terry Kim, BS in Ethnic Studies and a BS in Psychology.
Sadie Ortiz Gomez, honors Bachelor's of Science, Ethnic Studies.
Alejandro Higuera, a BS in Ethnic Studies and a BS in psychology.
Orion Luca Snyder. Bachelor's of Science in Ethnic Studies with an emphasis in American Indian Studies and an Environmental and Sustainability Studies minor.
Alexandra Leal Vergara, a BA in Gender Studies and a BA in Ethnic Studies.
Shaylin Grace Wilson, a Bachelor's of Science in Gender Studies and a Bachelor's of Science in Writing and Rhetoric Studies.
Emma Quinn, Stephanie Roxanne Richardson, a BS in Gender Studies.
Oliver Taylor, BA in Gender Studies and BA in History.
Mel Palmer, a BA in Gender Studies and a BA in History.
Juliet Reynolds, a Master's in Public Administration and a Gender Studies Graduate Certificate.
Xochitl Citlali Juarez Cardenas, BS in Ethnic Studies and a BSW in Social Work.
Perla Cecilia Rivera, Bachelor's of Science in Ethnic Studies and a Media Studies minor.
Shreya Harikumar, a BS in Ethnic Studies and a BS in Psychology.
Ella Habishaw, a BS in Ethnic Studies and a minor in Chemistry.
Citlali Garcia Barajas, a BS in Gender Studies and a BS in Operations and Supply Chain and a Psychology minor. Ooh, that's a mouthful.
Emerson Elizabeth Foster, a BA in Gender Studies and a BA in History Teaching.
Blake Carolee Lim, a BS in Gender Studies, a BS in Psychology, and a BS in Criminology.
Alejandro Victor Lopez, a BS in Gender Studies and a BS in Psychology. All right, let's give it up for the class of 2024. Woo! Woo!
Well, thank you all for joining us today in the celebration of accomplishments and new beginnings. But before we close, graduates, I would like to provide you a chance to recognize one more very special group of folks with us today. Graduates, I ask you to rise, turn to the audience. These are the people that helped you accomplish the achievement we recognize today. With your applause and cheers, would you please let your spouses, your partners, your children, your support systems, your parents, your grandparents, your family members, and friends know how much you appreciate them. And now I ask everyone to rise one last time and congratulate the class of 2024.